Well, our next little project is to correct a problem that occurred a while back. I had, in one of my videos I mentioned this, I had a light that hooked onto the bottom of the quill, and it's one of them that came from Tomac. It's just a basic Chinese drill press ring light. Anyway, it didn't stay mounted long enough, and if I can find the video I'll put it in, but it looks like a sort of an electronic version of a weed eater. Anyway, I decided to do something different. I know my normal habit is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, but I'm going to try something different and expect a different result. So the light I got now is this one here, and it came from Hound Dog Machining. Let me show you what's going on with it, how it works. It mounts up on the casting, so it's going to go up here like so, and there's this little shoe, and it comes. You can order different kinds of mounts. Some of these Bridgeports have a boss here with a hole in it, and this thing will just screw up into the hole. Mine didn't have it, and the alternative that Hound Dog had was for a magnet to hold it in place. And it's just something about a magnet kind of scares me. So I'm going to build a piece of an aluminum block with a hole in it so I can actually mount this thing to it solidly with screwed in hardware. So what I've done so far is get a look at this curve and set my boring head up so it's pretty close to the same curve, just eyeballing it. My thought on this is that none of this is going to have to be real accurate. It just needs to, I mean, it's a casting, so we're not going to match it exactly anyway. So as long as the radius of the cut that I make, I'm going to mill out a piece of this aluminum block here. As long as that is not too wide a radius and leaving us with a shallower deal, it would rock in the middle. If we're a little bit too deep or too sharp a bend, smaller radius, the ends may touch before the middle. That's fine. So anyway, I'm gonna get you a better video next time because I have that ring on. So basically I'm going to nibble away at this until I have a nice moon-shaped cut out of this thing. I decided I'm having so much trouble with the bigger boring head. I'm just going to switch out to one that's got a little different geometry to it. I think that'll work pretty well for me. I'm just taking a quick pass down there to make sure everything's the same top to bottom. Okay, doing good now. I'm still taking 100 thousandths cuts, and I'm going to just reset my 0 on the Z-axis so I can come back to a clean start each time. Okay, so I have very little left underneath here before I run into the vise. So I want to move the vise over and leave this in contact with the edge of the cutter. So what I'm going to do is just back off about 200 thousandths. Slide this back out. Lock it back down. Okay, and now I can continue on. Okay, advance another 100. I think probably another 100 will get me pretty close. I gave myself. That's going to do it. I still haven't, should have squared the block up first, but I can square it up now. So let's see how that fits. Yeah, that's what I wanted. It's a little bit shorter radius, and I can actually, it's quite a bit short. I could go a little more. Let's go up here a little. So I can go in here, touch off again. Okay, back up a little bit. Let's just set it. Just go out a little more like that. Now I'll be taking more off the sides than the middle. Okay, that's deep enough on the middle. Give that a okay. Pop that out of the vise and check it. Okay, and this time I'm going to measure to see how much the saddle of this thing is sticking out. And it is almost 1/8 of an inch. Call it 1/8 of an inch. So I want it. So what I want to do is lock myself back down again here, right where I was. I'm going to back off my X. I'm going to take 100,000ths out of it. Now I'm going to push my cutter back out. Till I start hitting on the edge. Or the middle there, right? Okay, take it out and try it again. No, we still need to take some more off. So we'll do the same thing again. Line our cells up. Good word before. Back myself off. 100,000ths. Push the tool back out again. And keep doing that until we get a radius that matches. Don't have a whole lot of room left underneath there again. Well, we're getting there. I don't know how much more I want to take off. There's some irregularities in the column. I think this is probably about as far as I want to take it. So. Okay, I'm going to move in 10,000ths or so and just take a clean up pass. Slow down the feed. Now I'm going to mill it down to size. I need only about half of that, and then this is the size of aluminum I had. So anyhow, I'll take about a 50,000ths cut to start with. Okay, I'm going to go deburr this and then I'll flip it over and get my final thickness. Should be very close to 750, maybe just a little over, but I don't care. 750. 752. Close enough. So I'm going to drill this hole. I could ream it, but I'm not gonna. So whenever I want to have a real accurate hole, or as accurate as I can get with a drill bit, I go ahead and I get a nice new one out of the black and gold set that's it's a good quality drill, and they only get used occasionally. They're not my everyday drills. I'm going to hit it right about there. This direction doesn't matter too much, but I kind of like to get it centered this way. Okay, that's the hole for the pen to come up through. Okay, my next operation is going to be to trim these ends off parallel with the back of the block here, so I can flip it over and drill my hole, my set screw hole in here. Okay, now I want to get the y-axis 0. That one I already found the center from one edge of this to the other. Okay, there's 0 this way. Now I'm going to have to touch off the sides and get the 0 the other way. Okay, here we go. Tap that, and now I got to drill a couple of mounting holes here, and I think I'll take these shoulders down a ways, and then I'll drill and counterbore the like some well, some more 1032s probably to mount it into the casting. I'll come back to that in a little while with you. Okay, now I'm going to drill the holes for the mounting screws. These are 3/4 inch long. I want to leave about 3/8 in and about 3/8 out. Okay, a little bit of measuring, and I decided I need to countersink these, or counterbore these 1 inch exactly. Okay, here we go again. I got the speed turned down quite a bit here. There's 1 inch. Okay, if everything went well, I should be able to mill these down as far as I want to make them a little prettier or whatever. So I put a couple parallels in here. Zero my Z. Take 100 thousandths cut off of it. Well, here's the final product. Got plenty of light now. I think I like that very much. And we have a little task light that we can move around and really get into something that we can't see too clearly. And get you in closer to see the mounting. Well, that's the end of that project, and I'm real happy with the results. I do want to point out a couple things. Mostly the tolerances, the design, you know, all that stuff is just not critical. I mean, you could make this a lot of different ways, and most of the measurements and things were arbitrary, except 2 places. One is when I drilled the hole into the column to make sure, or to mount the piece, drilled and tapped that in there. Measure the outside of your column, measure your spindle, check and see what the difference is. That's how much, and then get the radius of that, or the half of that. So if this is 4 1/4 and this is 3 1/4, then you have an inch total difference in the diameter, which is a 1/2 inch in the radius. And that's as far as you can drill, is a 1/2 inch. And honestly, you wouldn't want to do that. You want to stop short so you don't drill into your quill. So keep that in mind. The caveats are, I took care of it my way to be sure it worked out. You take care of it your way to make sure it works out, that you don't hit the quill. Second measurement is, the only other measurement is the diameter of the hole where the little pin on that shoe that mounts the light that goes up into there, the 5/16 hole in this case. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe, and till the next video, happy trails. And by the way, I will put the link to Hound Dog Machining in the description, so you can take a look at these wheel lights yourself if you want. Thanks for watching.